EDC Las Vegas. Will it happen or will it not happen in 2021? Obviously, this entire video is speculation. I have no idea what to expect. So this video is just kind of like my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments about EDC, because the truth is I actually have a ticket for it. I bought a ticket and I've been super excited for EDC because I've also been working on another album. I'm working on this huge album that I'm calling the Las Vegas Experience, where I'm going to every single day club, nightclub, and after hours club in Vegas and doing songs that encapsulate those venues in musical form. I love Vegas. And last year, I was actually supposed to live in Vegas on the Vegas Strip for an entire month. Obviously, that didn't happen, given everything that happened with the pandemic and whatnot. But EDC is in this weird area in terms of the timing, happening in May, or supposed to happen in May, in Las Vegas, where I could see it going either way. Here's a couple of different interesting things, is that when it comes to Ultra, I did a video about Ultra 2021. Being honest, I don't think Ultra is gonna happen. I think it's too early. The vaccines are just starting to be rolled out, and I feel like that's the biggest determining factor of if we're going to be able to go to bars, nightclubs, music festivals again or not. And in case you haven't heard, it's not been going so well. So I did hear one statistic, I've said this in other videos, that I think it was that 70% of Americans were going to be vaccinated by May of this year, which would be around the time for EDC. But I guess they're now saying that if we continue along the same trajectory in terms of the vaccination process, we'll all be vaccinated in like 10 years or something like that. So it's not been going so well with this whole vaccine thing. And as a result, I think that will affect EDC. Now, I've done a video about Electric Forest, and Electric Forest is happening in the summer, is supposed to happen in the summer of 2021. And I feel more confident about Electric Forest. It's already in the summer. They could push it back a couple more months. I know Electric Forest did mention that in an email. So Electric Forest is far enough in the year where I could see it happening. Ultra, definitely not gonna happen where it's too early on in the year. But EDC is kind of right in that middle sweet spot where it's so on the fence, it being in May, that I don't know what's gonna happen. One big thing I will say is out of any company, Insomniac is hands down the best when it comes to running their festivals, their logistics, their policies. They're the best hands down when it comes to running festivals. In case you didn't hear, there's like a huge issue with Ultra in 2020 where they didn't give a lot of refunds. They sent people emails saying, hey, not only are we not giving you a refund, but we're gonna try to pitch you to have a more expensive ticket or to convince you to buy a VIP package or some type of package. It was messed up, being honest. With Insomniac though, they're very, very good at being like, hey, we know you bought a ticket, we're gonna somehow refund you, or we're gonna, allow you to use it next year for the same festival, or some type of policy that you're not gonna lose the value of your ticket. So that's one thing I will say, regardless if EDC happens or not, I'm the most confident that Insomniac is going to do the right thing or figure out something to do regarding EDC. Now, another big factor, though, I think, of EDC compared to any other festival, which is kind of like a weird thing that I feel like is not talked about enough, because I've talked to a lot of people about, is EDC going to happen or not? Because obviously, I love EDC Las Vegas, and one big thing about Vegas that's not talked about enough is kind of the relaxed attitude toward what's going on. Vegas is not completely open, but I know bars are open. None of the nightclubs are open, but venues are open. The casinos are open. So Vegas is open enough where I feel like because of the relaxed attitude and nature of Vegas, if they might still give EDC or Insomniac the green light to have the festival. Now, obviously, a music festival with hundreds of thousands of people is very, very different than, like, say, a random bar in downtown Las Vegas being open. However, though, it is tough to say, because if you look at other festivals like Ultra, it's a crazy storm of people all in Miami during the month of March. Ultra is definitely not going to happen. Electric Forest is kind of in the middle of nowhere in Rothbury, Michigan, but EDC is this unique area where it's connected to Las Vegas, but it's 45 minutes roughly away from the Strip in the Speedway. So it could be that maybe because it's so remote from Vegas, it might be easier to have it. But then again, too, you still have hundreds of thousands of people packed in. If I had to lean either way, if someone came to me and said, hey, Mark, you have to put money, speaking of Vegas, you have to bet, would you put it on EDC happening or not? I hate to say it, I don't think it's gonna happen. I could see them trying to reschedule it, maybe to September or October in Vegas. I feel like that could happen. I feel like that, is EDC gonna happen in 2021? I don't know. I could see it happening, but only if it happens later in the year. I think because the vaccine process is not going so well, I think that more likely than not, EDC Las Vegas is going to happen later on in the year. I still think May is too close, and who knows, maybe something does change in the next few months, but I still think it's too close where even if they do try to push it out, and even if they get tons and tons of people vaccinated, I mean, there still needs to be protocols, and I think May is just too early for that to happen, just being honest. But I will say I could see it happening. I feel like if any company can pull it off where it was gonna happen in May 2021, but now they push it back to September or October, and like say Insomniac works it out with Las Vegas of how to get everything scheduled, I think if there's any festival that can pull it off in terms of rescheduling till later in the year, it is Insomniac. Insomniac, like I said, is the best. And so I think for EDC Las Vegas, it is going to be unfortunate, especially for all the people who booked their hotels and their flights already and took time off work and all this kind of stuff. It is super unfortunate. However, I think this is, an unfortunate reality of, just this whole pandemic that's been going on, and now what feels like it's starting to drag on. And with EDC, I am... Again, it's tough to say. This video is speculation. I am confident I think it will happen in 2021, but they have to reschedule it. I think that's what's going to have to happen. I think that they're probably already talking about this. They're already trying to figure out, okay, if we were to reschedule it, would it be in September or October? And obviously, I have no idea. I did want to live in Vegas again for a month like I did in 2019, but I don't even know if that's gonna happen as well. I mean, everything's so up in the air. But one thing I will say is if anybody can figure this out, make it work and make it safe, which is obviously the number one most important thing, it is Insomniac. So for me, I'm shooting for a yes for EDC 2021 in terms of the Las Vegas EDC, but I'm shooting in terms of a no for the fact that I don't think it's going to happen in May. I think they're going to push it back to September or potentially October.